Major General Tom Wilkerson, a retired Marine, now heads up the U.S. Naval Institute, and he says that that task force has been an utter failure. And, sir, if you don't mind, I want to get to the fact that task force has been an utter failure. Obviously, we can see that by all the hijackings that have taken place, and now here we are. And I don't know if you were able to hear Ken Quinn. He's the second mate on board Okay, great. He's on board the Alabama right there. We had a chance to talk to him. They are trying right now to save their captain, a captain being held hostage by these pirates. You know, it's up to them right now. They don't have any support right now, sir. They've just got the crew, and Shane Murphy is the CO in charge right now because the captain has been taken hostage.
That's right.
We heard from his father. He's been very well trained in hijacking situations. Apparently, they took down this one pirate, and they were getting ready to make the switch, but the pirates didn't give the captain back. So what do they do now, sir?
The pirates don't have a tendency to follow rules, Kara. And the problem is we've got too many rules, and that's the reason that the combined task force is having so much difficulty. They're not equipped to handle the mission. And so you see all of those little dots on your map that show where piracy is still flourishing. And it's a bit uncomfortable for me considering that America cut her teeth in 1804 on thwarting pirates when Thomas Jefferson was president. We went to Tripoli because we were paying them 20% of our annual budget in 1804 as ransom. Well, what we need to do now is refigure how we're going to handle this situation, because next time it could be Americans that are hostage in greater numbers, and that's a very delicate situation.
Interesting. So what you're telling me, if you want to go back to the 1800s, and I'm assuming you're talking about the Barbary Pirates, you know.
You are.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. So you're saying the U.S. has not learned its lesson since then, that ransom has sort of been this ongoing tool for all these years, and I find that hard to believe that other tactics haven't been enforced. I mean, what should they have done?
There's a lot of international law involved, and the problem we have, and the problem that all of us faced, all of the developed nations are out there trying to protect their vessels. The tail is wagging the dog. It's favoring those who would be pirates and take hostages and demand ransom, instead of allowing those who have a legitimate interest in free transit to take care of their ships and their people and move them. And there's a certain irony here, and it shouldn't be lost on us.
So, sir, what's the answer? I mean, you can't root out the pirates, right? Because the pirates are an outcome, for example, in Somalia, of a pretty much a lawless region right now. I mean, the government is in shambles, and this is the way pirates get money, correct?
It was fun to hear you say that, Cara. The irony isn't lost on me that you said they're in a lawless region, yet most of our handcuffs are because of the law. The answer might well be a return to a more 1804 posture, and you should do that sooner rather than later. Are we going to wait until Americans are killed? Are we going to wait until key cargo might be captured? Are we going to pay ransom? And President Obama's team ought to be looking at this pretty closely, because it is not too far in our distant past that a presidency has been defined by how a new president responded to hijacking and taking American hostages.
So if you had a chance to sit down with the president, or you had a chance to advise this anti-piracy task force, I mean, what would you say? What would be 1, 2, 3? What would you say the strategy should be for right now?
The answer is pretty simple and very hard to do. You have to take out where the pirates live and give them no incentive to continue doing piracy. You can't just patrol up and down an ocean that you described correctly as 4 times the size of Texas. I mean, that's irrelevant. It's a poor use of assets, and it's very clear from the dots on your map it's not working. We have got to step up to the plate and recognize piracy will continue unless you erase it.
Sounds like you need to sit down with the president. Major General Tom Wilkerson, appreciate your time, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks.